Hey everyone, welcome back to a new video. Today is going to be a laundry room makeover. It's super affordable, very easy, and renter friendly. So hopefully it gives you lots of ideas and inspiration to tackle your project, whether it's big or small. Now, before we get into this project, I did want to share a little bit about the reasoning I decided to go very simple, easy with this project initially, because I have big plans. But the reason I'm doing small projects leading up to the big decisions is so that way I can make sure that the long-term decisions I'm making are what I actually want. I sometimes will dive into big projects and just complete them and finish it, spend a lot of money on it, and then I don't know, like a month down the line, I'm like, do I really like that? So I want to be more mindful when it comes to big spending on big projects. However, we are turning this starter home into our forever home. So like I said, whatever projects I do end up doing, I want them to last. I want them to, be what I like long term. So we're going to start small and just kind of get these wheels spinning. At the end of the video, I'm going to ask you guys to please help me out. I'm going to share some ideas, inspiration photos, and hopefully we can bounce some ideas off of each other in the comments. But yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this mini makeover. First step is clearing the space. I had quite a bit of garbage to throw away. I have collected quite a bit in this trash can. Clearly it's overflowing, but also over there in that corner, that had become a little storage area for picture frames, pillows. I had a tote from Christmas over there. So I got a lot of that already done before I even started filming. Because to be honest with you, I almost did not film this project. I was actually cleaning and, getting started, and I was thinking, should I film this? Is it worth sharing? It's more of a smaller project. And, of course, yes, you should share. You should share whatever, because you never know what someone's looking for. Sometimes these smaller, quick projects are the best projects that you can do because number one, they're easy. And number two, they're affordable. So that's a win in my book. And if you enjoy smaller projects like this too, don't forget to like the video so I know to start including more of these types of videos in between the other videos too. I love a good, big, massive transformation, but I think we all can agree that the budget-friendly little projects are always the best. But I did want to point out, I am using the secretary desk over here in the corner just temporarily to kind of get it out of the way. I do plan on adding cabinets and a countertop on this wall, but we're not there yet. I haven't quite decided on the design that I want, so bear with me, we're using what we have. I'm going to put this up and around the wall, and then on the back side over here a little bit. So let's go ahead and get started. All you're gonna need is either a razor knife or scissors. I'm probably just gonna use scissors just to keep it super easy. And I'm basically just gonna do like a straight line. We'll see how this goes. Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm gonna measure it out first though. I actually purchased this wall decal / contact paper. The reason I'm calling it wall decal is just because it's a lot thicker than typical contact paper. It's actually very easy to work with and feels like amazing quality. So, and it is a little bit more expensive, but when I purchased it, I only paid like $25. It did go up in price, so I would recommend waiting for it to go back on sale. But anyway, I did buy this for the backsplash in my kitchen originally because I wanted to test out and see how I like the marble in there before I committed to buying a lot of tile, because tile is very expensive and the grout and going through that whole process. So I used this as a kind of just a visual, and it was really helpful to see what I actually wanted in there. So instead of letting it go to waste, I'm going to go ahead and use this in the laundry room just temporarily and see once again if I like this style out here or if I would like to try something new. Now, to my surprise, I actually love this contact paper as a backsplash. It is so gorgeous. It looks very realistic. It's very shiny, almost has a real life like tile look. And personally, if I was in a rental and I had outdated countertops and I wanted to fix them up, I would use this on my countertops. And it would be stunning. I don't think you'd be able to tell. And there's so much detail in it. That's something I did want to point out. There's a ton of detail. So if you accidentally have like a bubble or something like that, or a wrinkle, it's not that noticeable because there is so many veining details on the actual paper itself. So it hides it really well. and it's easy to apply and pull up too. I will tell you, it does stick a lot better to a completely flat surface. So if you have textured walls or like a textured countertop, it might not stick as well. I think it would stick really well to tile, but any of those like little grooves that you have with grout, it would probably kind of bubble a bit. So just keep that in mind. I did apply it just using my hand first, and then I went over it using the squeegee to get all the wrinkles and bubbles out, and this worked like a charm. Now you will notice I didn't go all the way down the whole wall just because it's kind of unnecessary. There's going to be a cabinet there anyway, and then above where the contact paper ended, I'm going to add a shelf. So you'll see how I end up adding the shelf right on top of the contact paper, and then I take a razor knife and cut it off. You'll see what I'm talking about, but let's go ahead and build a shelf. Thankfully, I already had this wood on hand. It is a 1x6, actually it's two 1x6s and then a 1x4. And then I had a scrap piece of, it's not even a 2x4, it actually came from a packing material. I just saved it because I knew I would use it for something, and sure enough, it worked perfect for this. So basically all you need is two pieces of wood that are the same size and then one that's a little bit smaller, and that's going to create your floating shelf design. So what I did was I marked each one to the length that I needed them. I'm using a skill saw to cut it just because I didn't feel like getting out the chop saw, but I probably should have because this saw is on its last leg. The blade is so done, and I think the battery, I don't, there's something wrong with it. It's not cutting right. So I did my best. There's a couple like little frays, but who cares, right? It's like, it adds some charm to it. So what you're going to do is take your smaller board and you're going to actually nail the larger board right to the edge. I'm using my brad nailer. This is the Craftsman and it's an 18 gauge. I've had this for so long. I highly recommend a brad nailer. So basically you're just nailing it right in the front along the side. And then once you get that side done, you're going to add the other board to the other side of that little board, and it kind of creates like a floating shelf design. You could totally miter these down and cut them at angles so that way you have no seams. But to be honest with you, when you're standing back looking at the shelf, because I'm putting the larger boards on the inside of that smaller board, you don't see that seam unless like you're standing tall looking down at it. You'll see what I'm saying once I stain it and everything. So once I got it all put together, and I had a couple nails poke through, I am using that scrap board, using a level, and I'm going to go ahead and pre-drill some screws in here and make sure that I hit studs because I do plan on using quite a bit of decor and having laundry soap sit up here, so you want to make sure it's nice and sturdy. And I put this board up here, making sure it was level. See how the contact paper is at the top? Don't worry, I'm going to cut it. And then once I get this all in place, I will take my floating shelf that I built, and the side that's open, I'm sliding it right into that scrap piece of wood and then putting a screw right through the top into that scrap wood to hold it in place. And see how from this direction, you can't tell that there's any seams. It just looks like a floating shelf, and it turned out really pretty. I would definitely recommend staining before you put it up. I could have totally just taken it down really quick and stained it and then put it back, but the dry time and all that, so I went ahead and just stained it while it was on the wall. And I should have thought this through a little bit better and stained before I cut off the extra contact paper, but I didn't. And what you can't tell is I have like a small little razor knife in my hand, and I am just cutting off just making a straight line, ripping that off, and then boom, you have contact paper backsplash that looks perfect. And what's really nice about this is the shelf is actually helping hold it up too. So in the event that the contact paper decides it doesn't want to stick well, it can't go anywhere because the shelf's holding it in place. And by the way, the stain color I'm using is called Cannon Brown, and this is a Valspar stain and sealer mix. It's the same color that we have on our pool deck out back. So after a couple hours of letting it dry, I'm going to go ahead and style the space. Now, I did just use everything I had on hand randomly around the house because I didn't want to spend any extra money on this project right now. I want to save up for the bigger, the bigger transformation, like the cabinets and stuff like that. And this was the biggest mistake I ever made. These jars are terrible. The laundry detergent leaks everywhere. It doesn't come out very fast. So that is absolute no for me. I'll just keep it in the jug next time. But I did decide to go ahead and use some of the leftover contact paper for this little cabinet over here. Since this wood grain did not match the shelf that I put above the washer and dryer, I wanted to just add this. Instead of sanding it down and having to stain it, I was like, hey, you know what? Let's use the contact paper. So I put this on. It went on so easy, and it actually looks really good. Now that you got to see this project, let me know what y'all thought in the comments below. I think it actually turned out really pretty. It's very me. I love this type of style, and it was super cheap to do, so it's a win-win. But let me get over here on my Pinterest board, and we're going to talk about ideas because boy, do I have a lot. So, oh my gosh, where do I even begin? Hold on, let me find the board. All right, we are going to start off with this first photo. Now, this obviously is not like my style as far as decor goes, but I love the idea of creating almost like an office space in this area too. Now, hear me out. I know this space is not very big, but it is big enough for something. I don't fold laundry out here. I'm going to be honest. Like, that's just not going to ever happen. I am very much throw in the basket and take it inside the house. By the way, if you didn't know, this is not attached to our house. It's a building out back in the backyard that we had installed because our old laundry room was in an old shed. It's a whole story. So anyway, yeah, I don't fold laundry out here. It's honestly pointless. By the time I fold it out here, get through this door and then into the other door, it's like falling over. It's not ideal. So I thought, what if I was to do like a desk area along this wall where the arched doorway is? It's not a bad idea. And then I could always keep the curtains up so that way if I wanted to like close it off and just have it as a designated office, it could totally be just an office, or I could open it and it could be a laundry room. And if I decided to fold laundry, I would still have that desk space to be able to do so. I already have a very large like countertop. We ended up buying it from a yard sale. It's actually a friend of Dylan's. His dad or somebody was having a yard sale and they had this massive plank of wood. It's actually a tabletop, so we're going to cut it down and use that. It's the same color wood as I used here, so we're going to use that as our countertop. I think it's going to look really beautiful, and that would also work as a desk, so we'll see. So that is an idea also. So that was the first one. Let me go back to my photos here. Oh, this one. Okay, first thing that caught my eye, I love the flooring. I don't plan on changing our flooring. Obviously, I worked really hard on laying this, so I don't want to change this, but I do love the stone backsplash. I think this looks really pretty. It's very like elegant, more organic. So I like that as a permanent decision because I feel like that's never gonna go out of style. I feel like marble like this could definitely probably get annoying after a while. I don't know. I feel like stone, you can really change the decor and change it easier. So I like that. I love the dark wood cabinets. I love the flooring. I think it's very unique. I like the style of washer and dryer, but I could never go back. I love the agitator inside my washing machine. I feel like my clothes actually get clean. I've had a washer and dryer like this before, and I felt like clothes were coming out dry. Like they were not actually getting cleaned. So while I love the aesthetic of this side by side, I prefer the old fashioned gals back there. Not that they're old fashioned. I'm not, I don't know. Is it? I don't, who cares? I said what I said. Anyway, moving on. Next thing. Oh, I love this one. This one is the more like moody. I feel like this is kind of the vibe that we want out here in the entire space. So this laundry room is attached to a little like living area that we have. It's also a workout space. Remember when I told you I like to cram a lot of things into one room? That's me. So I like this style because it's very moody and dark, and we watch like movies out here. We have the whole surround sound system. So I think this would be really cool to kind of flow into the other space. Eventually we're gonna go darker and moodier in there. I like it. I like the wallpaper. I do think it's a little bold and something I would get tired of, so I probably wouldn't do that, but I do love the dark trim. That dark, is this green? To me, it kind of looks green on my screen, but I really like that, and I love the rug. Very beautiful. This photo here, this one is very clean girl, like, to me, this screams rich. I don't, not that I care if my house looks rich or not. I'm just saying this looks richy to me. I really, really like it. The baskets would not last. Those would end up all over our house, somewhere shoved with clean clothes. So I don't like the whole exposed thing. If that was like a full wall of cabinets that were, it'd be great for storage, I could have that. And by the way, I don't have a window that big, but I do have a wall that I could do cabinets on. So that's an idea. I love the light on the wall. I love the colors. The rug is also really pretty too. And once again, it has my favorite style of washer and dryer, looks wise. And I've noticed that that's a trend. If you want like a super fancy looking laundry room, I feel like you gotta have like this type of washer and dryer. So hopefully I can change that and show you that you can have a regular washer and dryer and still have a beautiful space. Oh, here's another one. This is another one with the desk involved. So I like this a lot. And I feel like part of me wants to have a desk space, and I've had a desk multiple times. I sit at it for like a good week, and then it becomes, I don't like sit. I can't really sit for that long because my lower back kills me. So a lot of times I'm standing to edit. I'll walk on the treadmill when I'm editing. I do a lot of work from my phone, so I have that ability to move around. When I'm on my laptop though, I typically sit on the couch, and I have this lift table that I sit on. So do I really need a desk space out here? But if we're considering homeschooling, that was another reason I would want to have a desk in here. So I could have one space in here and then a space in the house somewhere so I could separate the kids when they're doing like testing or something like that. So, you see how the wheels are spinning? Anyway, I have like lots of ideas. I just don't know. I don't know what I want to do. Oh, I love this. Let me show you this. This is stunning. So this has a little island in the center, and it doesn't look like it's on wheels, but I would put mine on wheels because I think that would be really great, not just for laundry, but also for crafting. And then I could like wheel my little cart out of the way when I was done with it. I really like this. It looks a little bit more farmhouse style than like I'm into right now. I don't really care for the shape of the island, but the idea of a rolling cart in the center would be so cool. And that could also, if I had like a little stool, that could also be an editing area or, workspace for the kids. This is another one that I really love. I like the style of this, very clean, crisp. It's a little too black and white for me, but I love the flooring. I think it has so much charm. And part of me is kind of thinking I probably should have waited before I did all the wood floor in here, because I like this a lot. I like the idea of doing like a fun print for the laundry room floor. Maybe down the line. Who knows? We did have some flooding happen in here that one time. Y'all remember that? And I ended up having to like rip up the floor and put fans under it to dry it out. I thought for sure all of this was getting ripped out. And if that was the case, I was going to put in tile, because never again. Tile is just great for, issues with water or anything. We haven't had any more flooding issues now that we built the porch, which is great. So, that's fine. But this right here is another idea I had, because so we have the pool. We don't have a bathroom out here. Now we could add a bathroom if we wanted to. It's just kind of pricey and not really necessary when we have 2 bathrooms inside. I felt like at the time we were trying to keep this whole project, adding this, space for my office, really, really cheap. And we paid for everything out of pocket. So there were some things that we wanted to do that we just couldn't afford at the time. So we're like, oh, we'll put that on hold. We'll add like pipes and everything. So if we want to add that later, we can. But yeah, I would love to have a bathroom out here now. And looking back, I'm like, dang, we should have put a bathroom out here. Would have been ideal. But then really it would have just took up space. It would have been one more bathroom that I have to clean. And yeah, so I was thinking something that would be really cool is to add kind of like a hall tree space, like a catch-all bench with hooks. Since we do have the pool, it'd be nice to have a spot to hang like pool towels and things. But then again, we do bring those inside. The kids hang their towels up on the racks outside. So I feel like that's like not really that necessary. I don't know. Clearly, I have a lot of ideas. I also have been really loving that blue that I painted the front door with. If you missed that video, I'll link it down below. But this blue is so beautiful. I'm going to show you this photo here. Oops. No, don't do that. I hate when it does that. On Pinterest, sometimes they have ads now. And if you think you're like able to pin it, you click on it and it takes you to the link of like whatever they're trying to promote, which I mean, I get it, but at the same time, I don't want to click on these random links either. But I love this blue. I think it's so pretty. I love the gold. Ooh, look at her wallpaper in the background. That's pretty with the birds on it. Is that birds? Or there's moth. Is that a moth or birds? Those are birds. Carrie, are you blind? That's a bird. So yeah. Clearly, I have a lot of ideas. See what I'm saying? This is why I start small and work myself up to the bigger things. But I am leaning more towards lots of cabinets. I would really love to add cabinetry on this one wall here with a countertop for sure, upper cabinets for additional storage. And I'm really considering adding just a quick cutout for a desk just in case we ever need it down the line. That's my idea. And I'm thinking going moody, but also light and airy, kind of like how I have the inside of my house. Like I've been going more like mid-century modern style in there, but also with like that organic antique twist here and there, because I love my antiques and stuff. I don't know what I would really consider my style. I like different things all mixed together. And I just call it home. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with a friend. I really appreciate your support so much. And yeah, I'll see you guys in just a couple days with a brand new video.